In your opinion, in your opinion, in your opinion, what does it mean? And what does it mean to be disabled? In your opinion, what does it mean to be disabled?
To be disabled, in my opinion, means someone who has different limitations than a normal person and can't do something that a normal person can do on a regular basis because of the limitations that person has.
Being disabled is not being able to do stuff mentally or physically in your everyday life.
To me, being disabled means that your daily life functioning is inhibited due to either a mental or a physical impairment.
In my opinion, what it means to be disabled is I would classify as an impairment that affects your motor or even your cognitive abilities. So yeah, anything that goes with that, like something that could affect you walking or something that could affect you cognitively, thinking wise, I think can be classified as a disability or disabled.
In my opinion, it means that it is a cognitive condition that is going to affect your daily, both mental and physical processes.
Well, I don't really think that disability is something that's real. I think it's something that's more of a social construct and shouldn't be treated as just saying someone has a disability.
An impairment affecting someone's physical or mental ability.
When I think of being disabled, I think of, in terms of genes, having a gene that's like not functional or not like not a primary gene. So as a scientist, I'll think of something like, what's disability? Well, if you have like a gene that codes for cystic fibrosis, that's a disability compared to the normal gene that codes for the right protein that does the right product. So as someone from science, when I think of disabilities, I kind of associate with genes and disabilities from genetic defects.
It's a mental or physical impairment that inhibits you from performing normal day-to-day tasks without added difficulty.
So for me, disabled, and part of this is that in class we have to be sure to reach students of all different capabilities, right? And so disabled from an instructor's perspective just means differently abled, right? There's different ways to reach different students who have different learning disabilities potentially, or different abilities to sit still for a long period of time. So it's basically people who have challenges that we don't generally think of.
My opinion, disabled means someone who learns differently than others and might do things differently. It doesn't mean that they can't do things.
It's a very broad question. For it to be so broad, obviously there are disabilities that you can obviously see. The physical disability are the obvious ones. The ones that are less obvious, and I think that are less recognized, are the mental or mental disabilities, and I think disabilities can be a bit of a misnomer as well. It can carry a negative connotation. Okay, I think for example, depression and anxiety can be classified as a air quotes disability, but I think mental health is one that is not recognized well, and that disability term can carry a negative connotation with it. My son has been diagnosed with depression, and there are people who recognize that and treat him differently, and there are people who treat him differently because of it.
Right.
So, yeah, very broad question.
Yes. That's all relative to the person that's disabled. Right.
I mean, there's people who come in here fully functional. They're probably athletics in the athletic programs that have disabilities. I mean, I really think that's a broad term. But I mean, this is something you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say it means that you have some impediment to easily participating in all aspects of our social life.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it means to have an impediment that makes it more difficult to do something or makes it impossible to do something based on the way that society is structured.
Usually a handicap of some sort, so they have some inability to do something, whether it be with their hands, their feet, or just overall mental ability.
I think it means that there is something that is either mentally or physically wrong with somebody that inhibits their ability to do certain tasks, whether that be performing well in school or just like walking around and stuff.
Disabled? Well, you should have gave me that. Not able to do something. Not able to do something like a fully functional person that will be able to do something.
Someone that's not capable of doing like normal needs for themselves.
In your opinion, what does it mean to be disabled?
Well, when I was growing up, what it meant to be disabled is that you were somehow incapable of doing something, and of course that was not a good thing. But certainly I have seen as time has changed and people have become in general a little bit more aware and open to looking at things through a new lens, that being disabled doesn't necessarily mean that there is something wrong with the person. It could be that there's something wrong with the way that society or the environment is allowing them to interact with the world. And so I guess if you would have asked me as a kid, what does it mean to be disabled, I would have said, oh, there's something wrong with that person. But as I've matured and I see things changing, it's just somebody who has different abilities and is approaching the world in a different way than I may be, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like the majority of people are approaching the world. So I think I've become more enlightened, and I think that the society is becoming more enlightened, and that's a great thing. And perhaps with the help of one Mr. Andrew Bithell, the world will become an even better place. So, Will, if you're watching this still, I hope that you have seen that Andrew has a great passion for this, and he's very interested in this, and that he deserves a good grade. So.